friend. How are you? Hello, hello, hello. Can you do it this evening? Can you hear me? Are you there? तेरे एहसासों कौन बोल रहा है ये? मैं सुबह करवा दूंगा चुप। This is the which of the cost or the example of the reason of the cost. गरम हम्म हम्म ओनर ने रीजन दिया ना कि घर में सनलाइट अच्छे से आता है। Yes, can we start now? So, the first question is uh, which are which cost are example of the source cost rate? Select that all apply.
For the resource cost rate,
Yes, continue. Which cost or example of the resource cost rate and select all apply. Hello, are you there? Now it is audible.
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, so my question is, which cost example of the resource cost rate select all apply? So my question is, which cost are the example of resource cost rate all of apply?
It looks like you're referring to resource cost rates in the assignment. The examples of resource cost rates would typically include the cost of labor for a project team and the cost of materials. The cost of software and task buffers tend to fall into different categories like tools and contingencies. Would you like to choose the options now or need more details?
Okay, you mean to say the cost material when the building house, the cost of the labor for a project team, right?
Correct. The cost of materials when building a house and the cost of labor for a project team are examples of resource cost rates. The cost of software and task buffers are typically not considered resource cost rates. This should help clarify.
And what about the cost of the software to help manage a project, the cost of a task buffer?
Those are not resource cost rates. The cost of software and task buffers fall into other categories like overhead or contingencies. Resource cost rates typically include things like material costs and labor.
Okay, as a project manager creating a budget, you are thinking about all the parts of a project from beginning to end, making a list of every material resource and contract worker. What do you call this type of budgeting?
That type of budgeting is called the bottom up approach, where you list all materials, resources, and costs from the ground up.
Okay, imagine you are working on a project. It progress and expected, but you would like to access the budget to identify whether any budget item need to be revised, revisited. When should you take this budget action?
You should take that budgeting action at a project milestone to ensure you're adjusting the budget as needed along the way.
Okay, as a project manager, you are seeking a procurement approach that outline clear work stream, hard deadline, and the financially protect your project against unseen circumstances. Which procurement approach you close? You should close. Should you close?
It sounds like you're considering a fixed price or lump sum contract, where you define the scope, deadlines, and financial terms clearly upfront. This can protect the project from unforeseen costs. Would you like more details on how to structure it?
Like traditional, robust, agile, and protectation, protecting.
It sounds like you're working on a project and need to choose a procurement approach that covers clear work streams, hard deadlines, and financial protection. The protectionist approach is typically designed for this, focusing on shielding against unexpected events. That might be the one to select.
You are working with a vendor and ask them to sign an NDA. What does an NDA help to ensure?
An NDA helps ensure that confidential information is kept within the organization. That's the primary purpose.
Okay. So the confidential information
Let me
is
know.
kept organization that multiple vendors are able to submit bids of the project, that the vendor and the stream both understand the expected deliverables, that the amount of promised work is to all parties.
That's correct. An NDA helps ensure that the amount of promised work is clear to all parties involved. This protects both sides from misunderstandings.
Okay, which of the following may impact ethics the procurement? Select all.
The
Union.
options that may impact ethics and procurement include union contract negotiations, interaction with state owned entities, sole supplier sourcing, and bribery or corruption.
Which of the following do you consider an indirect cost in your budget?
An indirect cost typically refers to expenses that aren't directly tied to a specific project activity, such as training or overhead. From the options, training is usually considered an indirect cost.
At what phases in the procurement process would a project manager check a vendor reputation for delivering quality work and make a site visit?
That happens during the selecting phase of the procurement process. That's when the project manager evaluates vendors and their reputation.
When budgeting a project, you should consider additional expense such as a varieties and supply add-ons and upgrade. Which budgeting terms refer to this concept?
Cost of ownership. It includes all expenses beyond the initial purchase, like warranties, supplies, and upgrades.
Is typically true regarding budgeting.
It's typically true that it's important to not go over or under the most balanced approach.
Ajay, it is important to not to go to the under budget, right?
Actually, the correct statement is that it's important not to go over or under budget. Both over and under budget can cause issues. So staying within.
चलो सोना ब्रश नहीं करूंगी कहाँ
Could
सोना
you
है? इधर सोना है क्या
Understood. Typically, indirect costs might include office rent, utilities, salaries, and general overhead.
बोल रहे थे कौन से उसमें नेटवर्किंग आज ओपन फॉर जॉब करके डाली है बता तो रहा हूँ 6 महीने में वो चाहिए नहीं यार ये तो कोई इंटीरियर की कंपनी है तो ये तो ये कुछ भी बोलते हैं अभी ऐसा ऊपर चला गया
It sounds like you're
G co-work or earning wage नहीं दे रही हो होता उनको खेलने दो मुझे उससे चलता है पैसा मिलेगा पैसा मिलेगा सब किससे कोई पैसे मिल रहे हैं इनको ए मायरा का भैया फोर यहाँ से आओ ना तो वो रास्ता आपको मिल जाएगा 5 को कनेक्ट करने के लिए 7, 8, 9, 10 11। अब तुम जीत गई जी में। इससे क्या होगा? इससे क्या होगा? नहीं ना, तुम्हारा नाम जीनियस हो जाएगा। अरे स्किप करो। टॉप 40 में आ गए, टॉप 40 वाई टेक वीडियो को कैसे करना पड़ता है। बताओ पार्टी थी कि पार्टी। चलो वहीं सोना है, वहीं सोना है, कंबल वहीं पहनी तो अकेले छोड़ देंगे ना यहाँ पे। ये प्रोजेक्टर वो वहीं लगा तो क्या मैं चलो पहले सुसु करो। जमाने में एक फकीर थी, लेकिन अब देखो बच्चा वगैरह नहीं है अभी तक से, 7-8 साल शादी तो हो गई, यही बच्चे बने हैं दूसरे के पास। जस्ट से बैठे। अरे चलत डगरिया और पीरा जाल पाव हो, का करी जहियो से दूर बा फलनवा के गाँव हो। इसमें अमवा लगता है कहीं से मंगवा के ऊपर। मुझे भी यही लग रहा है। इसका भी नाम मुझे लग रहा है अमिया कांत मानिक त्रिपाठी है। अभी दिखा नहीं है। तुम्हें क्या लगता है इसका नाम अमिया कांत मानिक त्रिपाठी है कि नहीं है? इस बार पागन पल्ली रख रखा है, मलिका रख रखा है, मलाइका रोना खान रखा है। पता ही नहीं है कौन कौन से वो होते हैं। करो 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 करो। अरे लड़का पहले चलो सुसु करो और ये क्या कहते हैं, चलो उतर। हाँ नहीं तो सुबह उठना है। जो फिर मैं इनको मारूं क्या? बताओ बताओ, तुम बोलो यस तो मैं कर दूंगी। काम सब तो लगा नहीं। कि कहीं लोली ना पीली। लड़की लोग के लड़की लोग पोलरी जी, तुम पोलरिश इंटरनेशनल में पढ़ते हो क्या? ये तेरी इतना किस हो गया अभी? और पप्पी दे दो तो लगती है। ये शादी तो ग्रेजुएशन दे रहे थे।
17 साल के बच्चे ने सीबीएसई की नींद उड़ा सीबीएसई के चेयरमैन सचिव का पद से छीन लिया जो सीबीएसई लगातार कह रही थी कि कॉपी जांचने में कोई गलती नहीं हुई और उसने जिस मुद्दे को लेकर दिया बताइए आपको कि कैसे 12वीं क्लास के बच्चे ने कैसे सीबीएसई को आईना दिखाया दावा किया कि एक बदनाम कंपनी को ऐसे करने देने के लिए नियम तक ताक पर
बस तुम मेरी वाली यूट्यूब तो तुम्हारा सारा वीडियो मेरे पास आ रहा है। लुडू लुडू मैं देखता हूँ क्या?
या मणिकर्णिका को आप ये सोचते हैं वो क्या चिंता नौकरी वालों खुश हो जाओ अब आप घर बैठे अपना पीएफ विड्रॉ कर सकते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 व्हिच इंडियन सिटी इज निकनेम्ड द योगा सिटी करेक्ट आंसर इज ऋषिकेश क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 which city is known as the automobile capital of India and the health capital of the country ऐसे कार कौन लगा कि कार एक्सटीरियर एंड इंटीरियर शॉट करेक्ट आंसर इज चिली क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 which city is nicknamed the city of India and almost nano and 4 SST
Sunburn.
correct answer is question number 4 which city is known as the city of
Understood.
सारी एक्सरसाइज भी मिलती है अभी मैं आपके में वीडियो रिकॉर्ड कर रहा हूं फुटेज भी करेक्ट आंसर एच इसकी मेरी स्क्रीन पर क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 डिस्प्ले से कंट्रोल कर सकते हो तो आपको ये कैसा लगा कमेंट में बताएं फॉलो
ब्लू सिटी कौन से को कहते हैं? जयपुर, जोधपुर, बोकारो।
Which city is known as the Rock of the East, capital of India, and gateway of Karnataka? Correct answer is Mangalore. Question number 8. Which city is known as the Manchester of the East and the Delhi of UP?
आगरा,
Correct answer is
कानपुर,